This video explains UC system settings, a variable which stores the system-wide settings for the entire Automic Automation instance. As we've explained in other places, system and client settings do not require dedicated interfaces. Instead, they're stored in variable objects. UC system settings is one of those variables. It stores the settings that apply to the entire system, as opposed to clients or agents. Because they are system-wide settings, the variable is found on client 0 exclusively in the div variables folder. The idea of UC system settings is quite simple and straightforward. It contains settings that apply strictly to the entire system and cannot be adjusted for a specific client or agent. We start in the div variables folder. Before we proceed, note that the div variables folder also contains the client settings for client 0. This will be covered elsewhere. These are the system settings. They are fully documented and worth the read, but we'll explain a few of them. System settings are designed to guarantee certain aspects of the system, like the integrity of the file systems or of the database, overall performance, and to enforce certain aspects of security. Some of these take effect immediately, while others require a restart of a specific components. For example, agent list limit caps the number of agents shown in the list of agents. This is to maintain overall performance of the system. You have an LDAP value to enable and disable LDAP. In an effort to safeguard the database, you can cap the size of your imports, although you will need to restart AWI. This setting is very important. Some automation configurations require internal database settings to be modified. This is done with the use of an internal SQL variable, which comes natively in the solution. This being said, this also opens the door to SQL alterations and SQL injections, and so it needs to be given serious consideration. By default, internal SQL variables, or SQLi, are disabled, but you can enable them. We'll use this for our example. Let's try and create an internal SQL variable on client 100. As you can see, we don't have the SQLi type, but if we enable the value in UC system settings, then the variable type is enabled. Let's go back to client 0. Back in client 100, we can now create SQLi variables.